Joe Biggs here with Infowars.com, and I want to talk about the de-evolution of our college campuses all across this great nation.
I want to share with you a big secret today, and it's not one that a lot of you are going to want to hear, but at the same time, it's so important that I have to tell you. And that secret is this. What if I told you that every single day kids go to school, they become less intelligent?
The fact that it's no longer safe for students to go in and share their ideas, unless those ideas come from the left and are very liberal leaning.
You have to obey the rules of the venue.
But this is free speech if you're so concerned.
Please keep your comments to the Q&A section.
Keep your hate speech out of this campus.
Keep your hate speech out of this campus. Keep your hate speech out of this campus.
We're here as a demonstration of utter madness.
But if you're a conservative, it's almost like a war zone for you to even go onto a campus nowadays. You can be physically and verbally abused just for thinking outside of the box. Now, college campuses are supposed to be environments where you, as a young adult, learn and find out who you are and what your values are going to be and what it is you believe in. And you're supposed to be able to use this environment as a way to debate and have conversations and bounce ideas off and really come up with new ideas on how to change the world. But that's so hard to do when you are completely and totally attacked from one side of the conversation. Now, what I want to talk about is, in fact, how that is happening. Look at what happened at the Portland State students for Trump meeting. They were in an open area where they were allowed to be there and have a discussion. And they were essentially shut down by a group of leftists that didn't like what they were talking about. And the fact that they liked Donald Trump and they supported him and wanted to do something to help him get elected. That's fine. That's politics on a college campus. That is supposed to happen.
Now this is what it looks like to actually get in the way of what white supremacy.
And then you have the actual professor at Missouri who called for muscle because a reporter clearly wanted to go in and ask some questions about some kids who were in their safe space.
Yeah, I know, that's a really good one. I'm a communication faculty and I really get that argument, but you need to go.
She's seen trying to intimidate another cameraman.
Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here.
David Kurpius is the dean of the journalism school.
I certainly don't condone the act of trying to prevent a journalist from doing his job.
To get out.
And I don't condone the act of trying to escalate the situation.
And now we have this instance at Orange Coast College in California, where Olga Perez Stable-Cox goes on this anti-Trump tirade during a sexuality class. I don't know what sexuality has to do with an anti-Trump rant, but she saw fit that that should happen at this point in time. Now, this video's gone viral and it came out last week, and I want to give you guys some updates about this story. It's pretty interesting to see that when you're pro-Trump, you get shut down, and that's okay. The media loves it. They coddle you. They put you on on TV, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, this guy is such a hero," or "She's such a hero. She stood up to the big fascist bullies who supported Trump." No, what happened here is the left finally got called out on their BS, and the reaction to it is the most interesting part about it. Now, this professor says that Donald Trump is a white supremacist, and the governor-elect Mike Pence is the most anti-gay human in the country. That's pretty factless. That's pretty baseless. Where did this even come from? But she says that, and everything's fine. Most people in the classroom are probably like, that's pretty true. I saw it on MSNBC. Then she goes on to say that we are in for a difficult time. But again, I do believe that we can get past this extreme time. Our nation is divided, but we have been assaulted. And it's an act of terrorism. Now, a student that's a part of a Republican group in the college filmed this entire rant from this professor that simply just was so triggered by President-elect Trump that she thought that pretty much everybody in her classroom thought the same way she did, and that it was okay to be that kind of person. But that's out of control. And now the video's gone viral. The students have been threatened with expulsion, and it's gotten to such a point where she says she's been getting threats and has had to leave the state. Multiple professors, multiple students were in support of her, showed up, protested, because it's her right in a college that's supposed to be diverse for conversation, where students are supposed to be open and talk about the many things that they're feeling. But it's only allowed when it's liberal left BS propaganda. And she's like this hero now. She's had to flee the mean Trump supporters and is now hiding from the fascist, evil Trump dwellers, the deplorables, who just called her out on her BS. Now, if the roles were flipped in reverse, this professor, who, let's say, goes on a pro-Trump rant, would probably be fired within days, because so many people were just triggered, and they needed a safe space, and they had to do cry-ins and put safety pins so they could all stand in solidarity with one another. This is reality. Trump will be your president, and safety pins and coddling and coping skills and cry-ins aren't gonna change that fact. Everyone needs to be upset that this is going on. We shouldn't be paying all this money to send our children to go be brainwashed at these colleges. It's time to stand up for the right thing to do, and it's time for us to take a stand for freedom of speech. This has been Joe Biggs reporting for Infowars.com.
Brain Force is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
One of the worst things with most energy products is it's not sustainable, right? You're gonna crash, you're gonna feel really bad afterwards. This has a bunch of different antioxidants and compounds and polyphenols.
Everybody's on these drugs to knock their brain out because the brain's so fried.
We kept changing this formula over and over and over again until it became sort of a grand puzzle. For example, the L-theanine inside of it, that is activated by the different compounds in the yerba mate that we put inside of it as well. This just increases the compounds you already have.
This is what you're actually designed to run on.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a car will run on one form of junkie gas, but it runs really good on what it's designed for. You will find Brain Force, Survival Shield X2, and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.